This episode was recorded yesterday, but we had trouble with uploading it to YouTube. So we're going to drop it today. Enjoy. Israel attacked. Port strike will reignite inflation, and the U.S. housing market is still stuck. This is current events, the foundation for October 1st, 2024. I am your host, Sot L, seeker of truth L, speaker of truth L, and we are live. Look, I was concerned about this. I don't see there's any way this is turning back, but let's just jump into it. So please make sure that you check out welcometothefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list, please. Exclusive offers, events, information, all types of things. We're doing a giveaway. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And even more. I mean, listen, we're going to get back into, the in-person events. Hopefully, as long as the geopolitical stability in this country, is maintained. But, check out welcometothefoundation.com. There's a lot of information in here. We got a bunch of free PDFs. We got our education section, passport, no social. If you're interested in getting a passport without a social. We have the Trust Primer. If you're new to Trust and you are looking to comprehend what I'm talking about, there's over 80 different types of trusts. And if anyone says they know them all, they're lying to you. Then we got the Trust Series Part 1. Trust Series Part 2. We also have the Trust Series Part 3. So those are, introductory, offerings that we have here at the foundation. Check it out at your leisure. We also have the most comprehensive trustee training available to you. You learn how to create trust, learn how to administer trusts. This is the course. It's a learn at your own pace course. Yeah, everything that you need is included. Trust me. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description of this video. You can do your dance. If you ever were interested in starting a business, this is the course for you. It complements the trust training because, one of the main ways to legally avoid taxes is to, set up a business trust as the majority owner or majority member of your corporation or LLC. And, in order to take advantage of all of the tax benefits, and I'm not a legal guy, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, relationship advice, nothing. I give no advice. But, from my personal experience, not generating income with the individual, but rather with a business and then passing, profits to another person that's not an individual is one of the main ways to, reduce tax exposure. So, I invite you to check out the course. If you're interested, link in the description. Finally, we're coming up on the year anniversary of the Foundation magazine. I can't believe it's happened so fast. It's amazing. And with that being said, we're going to be giving away a pair of AirPods for the giveaway, for the annual 1-year giveaway of the Foundation magazine. You can sign up for the digital edition. There's a print edition. You can do both. It's completely up to you. Link in the description. But with regards to the giveaway, and we're going to give more information on the social media within the next couple weeks. But, it's going until October 20th. You can win a pair of brand new in the box with the plastic on them AirPods. Haven't been used because that'd be gross. The requirements are you have to follow and subscribe to our YouTube and our Instagram. You have to comment and tag 2 friends, and you have to share a post on your stories. I didn't come up with the requirements. I'm just doing my dance. But those are the requirements. There will be more information released shortly. We also have another giveaway coming right after that, pretty much on the heels of that. And that's for the actual iPad mini. So stay tuned because we're doing our dance. So let's jump into this. Booyaka. Iran launches missile attack on Israel for killing of Hezbollah leader. And this missile attack was no joke. We just play this and make sure I can mute it. Make sure it's muted. Is it muted? It's muted. So, this stuff is not cool. Now, I personally don't get into geopolitics, right? Too much. But what I do get into is the effects that geopolitics will have on us, the people. What I will say is oil has already spiked. The Dow is dropped. The NASDAQ is dropped. This is very serious. Now, many people don't know, but the United States is really lockstep with Israel. At least the current administration in the United States is lockstep with Israel. So this could very well pull the United States into this. Now, this is 100% official. Iran has declared war on Israel, hit them with a bunch of ordinances. From what I understand, there was a lot of ordinances that got through their Iron Curtain missile defense system. This is large. And what I will say is, Israel is going to respond. And we're just going to see a ratcheting up. Response, counter-response, response, counter-response. This is not looking good. I suggest that, you pay attention to this, and I suggest that you do not, just don't miss the significance of this event. So this was in Tel Aviv, it was in the Tel Aviv area. It was in the city area. This is not, something that happened out in the outskirts. This is something that was serious. Last night, Vladimir Putin was rushed in a motorcade. I saw a video of it. He was being rushed somewhere. Now we understand what happened with that. I'm just, we're going to stay posted on this, but this is significant. This is a significant geopolitical event. Iran has declared war on Israel. U.S. Treasury yields fall as investors weigh rising tensions in the Middle East. And this is what's going on. This is going to affect the United States economy. It already has. Bond traders, also weighed new data on the U.S. economy. The Institute for Supply Management's manufacturing PMI came in at 47.2 for September. That's slightly below the Dow Jones forecast of 47.5. Quote, U.S. manufacturing activity contracted again in September, and at the same rate, compared to last month. The demand continues to be weak, output declined, and input stayed accommodative. End quote. This is Timothy Fiore, chair of the ISM Manufacturing Business Survey Committee. Investors also considered the outlook for interest rates as they digested comments from Powell. Now, I understand Powell already dropped interest rates. Well, the Federal Reserve did, but what was that? 50 basis points, a half of a percentage point. Crude oil spikes more than 3% after Iran fires missiles at Israel. This is serious. Now, you got Lebanon over there. You got Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of partners of the United States, of the West, that can be drawn into this conflict. Iran already said they will burn oil fields. They already said it. They will set them on fire. And that will definitely affect us here in the United States. It will also affect all prices of goods because the price of fuel, diesel fuel, gasoline, is very critical with regards to shipping, whether it's trucks or ships. And because most of our products that we purchase are imported from other countries, the price of shipping them is going to increase exponentially. Therefore, the prices of these devices, these goods that we receive from overseas are going to increase, as well as fuel. And, I don't know how much relief we're going to get from reduced interest rates. After CEO's arrest, Telegram says it will now turn some bad actors' data over to law enforcement. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this, but Signal, Telegram, they tout themselves as being very, very private apps where you can text message people. And this Telegram was not even responding to subpoenas from multiple governments for a long time. And what they did was they arrested the founder. Durov was arrested and interviewed by French prosecutors over suspected criminal activity on the platform, including gang transactions and trafficking, as well as an alleged failure by the company to hand over data related to the investigation. He was later released from police custody with bail set at $5.56 million as the probe unfolds. The investigation sparked debate about free speech and criminal activity online, but the authorities' concerns weren't exactly a surprise. The app, which has amassed more than 950 million users, thanks in large part to encryption technology and promises of user privacy, has for years been criticized for its popularity among unsavory internet characters and criminals, including drug traffickers, money launderers, and extremists, including white supremacists and terror groups such as ISIS. Now, I will say this. There is genuine concern with regards to this. You don't want to produce a product or service that facilitates sex trafficking, that facilitates terrorism, that facilitates the proliferation of drugs and, things of that nature into communities. But there's something to be said about the free speech amendment in the Constitution. So, we're at a place, I would say, with regards to governance, that's really, in my opinion, a slippery slope with regards to United States constitutional protections. And, I'm paying close attention to this. You understand that I am. GM reports 2.2% decrease in third quarter sales, but EVs make gains. So increases in sales of electric vehicles and small crossovers helped General Motors report slightly better than expected sales during the third quarter. The Detroit automaker reported a 2.2% drop in third quarter sales compared with a year earlier, slipping to 659,601 vehicles sold. Auto industry forecasters such as Cox Automotive and Edmunds had expected GM sales to be down by more than 3% during that time. So I guess it's a less of a decline than the expectations, but nonetheless, it's a decline. The struggle is everywhere. Speaking of struggle, port strike could reignite inflation with larger economic impact depending on how long it lasts. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's a port strike along the east and Gulf coasts of the United States. And these are ports where a lot of goods come in from multiple countries to be shipped all over the United States and North America, and even South America in some cases. Closed. It's absolutely closed. It's not even happening. This as well is going to increase prices. Not only the conflict between Israel and Iran, but you also have this port strike. It's not looking good. I'm gonna pay attention to this. We're gonna keep an eye out on that. Fed seen cutting rates another 50 basis points in November. The Federal Reserve is likelier than not to deliver a second 50 basis point interest rate cut in November. Traders bet it on Friday after a government report showed U.S. inflation has cooled to a pace nearer to the central bank's 2% goal. Inflation by the Fed's target measure, the year-over-year rise in the personal consumption expenditures price index was 2.2% in August, the Commerce Department reported. I don't really care about what inflation is month by month, because I know that the Federal Reserve's inflation target is an annual rate of inflation. So while they're over here giving us monthly numbers, I want to know the annual numbers. But that's in line with what Fed Chair Jerome Powell said he expected in a news conference after last week's half-point cut. The big start to what's expected to be further reductions in the policy rate ahead was aimed at bolstering what Fed policymakers see as a softening but still solid labor market. Now I want to ask you, and you can leave a comment if you like. That'd be great, actually. But I want to ask you, when you're going to the store, when you're paying your bills, does it seem as though inflation is back down to 2.2%? Does it seem like that? Are you coming into contact with prices that were reminiscent of 2020, 2019, so on and so forth? Are you? I'm not. And, just hearing it doesn't make my wallet feel better. Verizon confirms service is back online after major outage. Now, they're saying that, and this is the thing, I wanted to let you guys know, all of these hacks from pipelines to medical facilities, hospitals, to different types of tech, to cell phone service, online websites, you can't log in, so on and so forth. I don't think that all of these problems that we've seen in the last year and a half, 2 years are really as simple as they're saying they are. I don't think so. Although relatively infrequent, cell service disruptions have caused some widespread headaches this year. In February, AT&T's network went down for 11 hours, preventing many of its customers across the United States from placing calls, texting, or accessing the internet. AT&T said an initial review of the outage found it may have been caused by a technical error introduced by an update to its network. The network went down again for a few hours in June and in August. This, and they say it's usually an update that was pushed, the technician error are, the main reasons why they have these outages. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of hacks going on, and they don't want to let the people know how often the United States infrastructure, companies, websites, so on and so forth are being hacked successfully. That's just my opinion. Who knows if it's true? I'm just kind of into tech, so it just looks weird to me. Heating your home will cost more again this winter. Case in point, do you feel as though the inflation is back down to 2.2%? Get ready to bundle up this winter inside your home. Home heating expenses in the U.S. are expected to jump 10.5% on average, due in part to colder temperatures forecast for the Northeast and Midwest, according to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association. Consumers who heat with electricity will be hit the hardest, with their costs projected to rise 13.6% to $1,208 for the winter season. The association found the expense of maintaining and upgrading the electric grid is driving up costs, particularly in the West, where fires have ravaged the grid and electric heating costs could soar to nearly 23%. The price tag for heating with propane will rise 7.3% to $1,442 this winter, while natural gas users will see a 7.2% increase to $644. Natural gas prices have stabilized, but are expected to rise over the winter as U.S. exports increase. This is said Mark Wolf, the association's executive director. Look, I'm not looking forward to this winter. For a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family, a lot of associates, even clients. A lot of people are hurting financially right now. And, this isn't going to help at all. A new report illustrates just how stuck the housing market is. Just 2.5% of homes in the U.S. My battery's going to die. In the U.S., changed hands this year in the first 8 months, the lowest turnover rate in at least 30 years. People can't afford houses. Interest rate is very high. It's difficult. It's ridiculously difficult. U.S. construction spending falls in August on single-family home building. So less homes are being sold, less homes are being bought. Saudi Arabia slashes growth forecasts, sees wider budget deficits. What does that mean about petrol? Tom Brady to put his watch collection up for sale at Sotheby's. Looks like he's hurting for cash. He's been out of the NFL for a few years. That stuff catches up. GM's third quarter U.S. sales fell about 2%. I think we spoke about that earlier. That might be an extra. And last but not least, comfortable, fun, familiar. Why Microsoft is trying to turn its AI chatbot into a digital friend. And we're going to see more and more like this. I don't know if you've seen the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix. We also had Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner. That guy had a AI girlfriend. Don't fall for it, y'all. I definitely wouldn't fall for it. Appreciate you checking out current events. Make sure you check out welcometothefoundation.com. And y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night, because it's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow on The Foundation Show. Peace, y'all.